Alright, quick update on ZIL. So I thought I'd make an update because it does look like we are gearing up for a big move right now. So we're doing a lot of consolidating. You can see the EMA ribbons are really getting tighter and tighter. I mean, the long-term moving average is moving up, the short-term moving average is starting to move down. I do think we are gearing up for a big move to the upside or the downside. Let's talk about which way I think we're going to go. So first of all, if you notice on my screen, you can see these two blue lines on my screen. I talked about this in the last video, but we're currently getting smushed and squished between this 382 fib and this 618 fib. I've never really seen a chart respect a 382 fib too much. It is normally always your first fibs. It's, most importantly the 618, second most important at 786, and then third most important the 0.5 Fibonacci. Some people might disagree with me and say 786, 0.5, 618, or just go in order from 0.5 to 786. Nonetheless, I mean, we're clearly getting converged between these regions right now. We keep on trying to move up above the 382, and we keep on getting smushed. We're getting smushed every time we come down into the 618 fib. And once again, I mean, we're kind of just chilling around in the middle of these EMA ribbons, and because we're chilling in the middle, the long-term moving average is moving up to the price, the short-term moving average is moving down to the price, and these are just going to get more and more converged the longer and longer we take here. So I think we're gearing up for a very explosive move for ZIL. And I said, we're either going to have a move to the upside or the downside. That's obvious. I don't think we're going to go sideways forever. But if we come down to the 4-hourly time frame, actually let's start off with let's go on to the 4-hourly time frame. If we go on to the 4-hourly time frame, you can see, it does almost look like we have a freak of nature of a inverse head and shoulders playing out. Now I'll draw this on the screen. I do have some other things to talk about, but you can currently see we've had two fake outs to the upside. We've got a head, we've got a shoulder, we've got a head, and another shoulder potentially playing out right now. You could even argue that the neckline of this could be all the way up here. In fact, it probably looks better this way. I mean, if we remove that data, you can see we've got a perfect head, a retest, big shoulder, a retest, and then another shoulder which is, shorter than the head. So actually this looks a lot better. I think that has a lot more validity. Nonetheless, no matter which way you want to draw it, you can also argue we are putting in higher highs, higher lows as we are moving in this structure and getting kind of converged in this accumulation range. If we look at the 4-hourly time frame, the bears have tried to take control of this, but it does look like the downtrend is over as we've had a nice bounce coming in on this ascending level of support. We did this when we moved into a bearish trend down here. We kept on moving up and pushed it up into a bullish trend. So I think at least in the short term, a potential swing up to 13 cent is very likely. But that's not a big price target. I'm sure no one cares about a 2-cent move on ZIL. What I really think is gearing up, and I talked about this a couple of videos as well, it is the squeeze momentum indicator. We are gearing up for a huge macro shift in momentum. We have not seen, a macro shift like this since all the way back here. Now, it did take its time to play out. I mean, we did end up moving from these lows. We did come up all the way to here actually before topping out. So this may not look like a big move, but from these lows down here, we subsequently rallied, 2x, more than 2x. So very interesting stuff. If we look at what's going on here, this momentum shift, we only have moved up, well, we haven't even moved up anything really. We're up like 0.5% since we've seen this big macro momentum shift. And I'll highlight what happened the last time we had a momentum shift like this. You can see we were down here on the 27th of February. I talked about this in my last video. We topped out on the 4th of April. So, not cherry picking the data, this momentum swing was calling a 3x return. If you want to cherry pick the data and pick the absolute low and the high, you can see it was a 6x return, but I'm not interested in cherry picking the data. I'm interested in the exact point that the squeeze mom says the bearish momentum is subsiding, and I'm interested in the exact point that the squeeze mom says the bears are stepping back in, now's the time to take profits. And if you simply traded based on that squeeze mom move, you basically saw a 3x return. What happened when we had a squeeze mom flip to the downside last time? Well, once again, I'm not cherry picking the data all the way up here. We flipped on the 4th of April, as you can see down here. and we only started subsiding when we came down to the 20th of April, and we started putting in or we started putting in dark red candles indicative that the bears were losing control and bulls are stepping in for the next momentum shift. So far we've had a 3x return, we had a 2x return back there somewhere, and we've had a 35% drop to the downside, which was a higher low. So I think we're gearing up for the next move back to the upside. I'm personally not targeting anything crazy. I have my eyes on this 618 Fibonacci all the way up here at approximately 17 cents. So I believe this other orange line is this Fibonacci. Yep, I'm honestly a god at eyeballing these at this point. That's a joke. But I have become pretty good at eyeballing these Fibonaccis. Either way, we have a double 618 fib region between here, so we'll mark this as the ultimate golden pocket. This is where I think ZIL is heading up to in the next couple of days. I don't want to overcomplicate the analysis. Also, lower time frames, another reason, like I said before ending this video, another reason I think we're getting ready for that market momentum shift to the upside is if we come over to the 4 hour, you can see money flow indicator and RSI have pretty much had their bottom. I mean, the money flow indicator has come down to 14 and the RSI has come down to 40, but it made a higher low, and it's been making higher lows for a very, very long time now. So the trend is your friend until the end. The trend seems to be in the upside for ZIL. You could make the argument that we are in a huge bear flag right now. I completely see that as well, but in my opinion, while we are above this double 618 region, why is this Fibonacci not orange? This should definitely be orange. This one not so much. I mean, it doesn't really matter for me. I always mark the 618 fibs and the 786 fibs as orange / like a goldeny hue, because everyone calls the 618s the golden pocket, so I just mark these orange to remind me, these are your 618s, and this is why I knew, this was your 618, because we marked it as orange. So nonetheless, I'm going off on a tangent about 618 Fibonacci's. I don't think this is the perfect bull flag, and nonetheless, while we are having this ascending formation, while we are above 10 cent, and that nicely lines up with the lows, so I think as long as we don't take out 10 cent, then ZIL is bullish. In my opinion, we're gearing up for this move up to between 17 and 18 cent. I'm personally banking on anywhere between a 53 and 63% increase coming for ZIL within the next couple of weeks. I don't think it's going to take more than a couple of weeks. In fact, I do believe it will be happening in the next 2 weeks, really, probably the next week. These momentum shifts, I mean, like I said, they can be a week or so off, but we've been in this for a sizable amount of time already. So that is all I see for ZIL. I tried to make this a short video, but I have a feeling I probably talked about too much and this was longer. Nonetheless, if you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, subscribe. That's all I've got for you today. As always, cowboy out, not financial advice. And yeah, peace.